Hello everyone, hope you're having the most wonderful day today. Welcome to the Film Insight channel. For today's video, we're going to cover some more bars featured on Bar Rescue and reveal how they're doing now. So, sit back, relax, and without further ado, let's get right into the content, guys. SACTOWN Sports Bar and Grill. For a Season 7 episode, John Taffer and his team head over to SACTOWN Sports Bar and Grill in Old Town, Sacramento. Owned by Chris Eaton, a retired police officer since 2016, he's always wanted to run a bar of his own. This dream was certainly realized, especially considering that it was located close to a tourist hotspot, meaning it was a golden opportunity for Eaton. Even though things were popping off in the beginning, reality hit Eaton pretty hard since he had no bar experience whatsoever. Focusing on all of the wrong things, the owner signed over 800 jerseys in his bar but didn't even know how to properly pour a drink. On top of this, the staff members completely lost their respect for Eaton, many of them just drinking on the job. Their new chef Ricardo was hired to hopefully turn things around, but the owner was too stubborn to let him make changes, which wasn't helpful in any way, shape, or form. Eaton is in $450,000 of debt, so he called out to a professional for some guidance. Taffer responded to this call by making his way to the bar with a world-famous recording artist named T-Pain. After learning about the fact that a woman named Mary died in the basement of the bar as a result of a flooding incident, Taffer was in awe. Wanting to get a look into the service quality though, the Bar Rescue host enters SACTOWN alongside T-Pain and 40 other people. Ordering some wings, New York strip steaks, French dip, as well as some cocktails, it shouldn't be a surprise that what they ordered was awful. Not only was their steak practically raw in the middle, but as they eat, the patrons even tell them not to bother with buying food. Additionally, the wings they ordered were undercooked and rubbery, and the drinks were terribly strong. Returning the following day, Taffer confronts the owner alongside the rest of the staff about his horrible experience. Supposedly, the staff have very polarizing opinions about the bar's theme, expressing that most of the tourists who pass by are women and that they aren't interested in sports at all. Soon after this conversation, Eaton and his employees reluctantly take down the sports decor to make way for the renovations. Before that though, the famous rescuer calls in his experts to help build the staff members' skills to an appropriate level. Following a lot of training, Taffer thought it would be best to put their new abilities to the test by inviting in tons of customers. While things were rocky at first, they managed to get the food and drinks out, even making the accomplishment of satisfying the customers. Finally, the experts taught the staff how to make the new menu items that we're going to implement, and this meant that Taffer was finally able to start making renovations. Renaming the place to Brennan Manor, it was meant to pay homage to one of the founding fathers of Sacramento Town. On the inside, everything was modernized and made to look warmer while still keeping touch with the bar's historic roots. They received tons of new equipment, including hubs that allowed customers to charge their phones, and got a lifetime subscription to TVT and Bartender. Post-Bar Rescue, tourists seem to love the new concept, which has resulted in an increase in sales. Eaton seems to have stayed positive throughout the changes made and kept the sports memorabilia away from the bar. Reviews are pretty mixed, with the food being a hit or miss, and people complain about the loud music from time to time. We're glad this rescue worked out well though. Lucky 66 Bowl. In yet another Season 7 episode, John Taffer heads over to Lucky 66 Bowl, located in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Owned by Mike Draper, a Vietnam veteran, he bought the bowling center in commemoration of his late father, who was a pro bowler. Mike's son Jay runs the place as the general manager, and his granddaughter Daphne manages the bar. Hoping to one day pass the bar over to his son so he can retire, Mike isn't able to do so since things haven't been going so well. Due to the increasing pressure, the owner is often in a bad mood, taking it out on the staff and customers alike, which often pushes them to leave. Being in a deep pool of debt of over $1 million, which is only increasing, Mike calls out to Taffer for some aid. Upon his arrival with expert mixologist Alex Good and chef Anthony Lamas, they immediately point out that the area isn't ideal for a drinking spot. Oddly, there's a separate entrance to the bar which you can only get to if you walk down a long dark tunnel that looks shady and unsafe to say the very least. They soon learn that the bar chef Joel leases out the food operations with his son, running it as a separate business. Their food isn't exactly the greatest since it often receives complaints about being too greasy, which can affect their bowling experience. Additionally, Miles Jr. and Sr. manage the bowling lanes, with Miles Sr. having been fired 9 times and rehired another 10. All things considered, there are 2 families working together in this business, which means they're all at risk of losing their jobs if the place drops down under. Sending in some local singles to test the bar's service quality, they order 3 lemon drops but quickly learn that the bar doesn't have lemons to put into their drinks. On top of this, the bar was left unattended for a while, with alcohol just lying around, which is just asking to be stolen. When the spies finally receive their drinks, they taste horrifyingly bad, but they decide to try something else anyway. First asking for some water, Mike starts becoming intrusive and rude, stopping them from ordering any more drinks. Pissed off with the owner's way of acting, Taffer heads into the bar and confronts Mike about his attitude. Reconsidering if he wants to save the bar due to the owner's inability to admit he's the problem, Taffer walks out and returns the next day. Following a conversation with the staff, Taffer reveals to Mike how they feel about him, which gives him a change of heart. While mixologist Good teaches the bartenders how to make basic drinks, Chef Lamas shows the kitchen how to make non-greasy snacks that would be better for bowlers. Initiating a stress test, Taffer quickly realizes that the staff can't keep up with the demand and shuts things down. After even more training and getting the families to agree to work together, the bar rescue host was finally able to start making some changes. First, he renamed the business the Great 66 Entertainment Center, gave the exterior a new sign, made the interior look more modern, decorating it with bowling pins and balls alongside a ton of new equipment. A while after Taffer and his team left, the bar's sales increased and the staff seemed to have a much more positive attitude. However, knowing Mike's tough personality, he decided to change the name back to Lucky 66 Bowl and sold the building in August of 2019. Linda Lou's Time for Two. Hoping to rescue Linda Lou's Time for Two from closure, John Taffer heads over to Layton, Utah to meet with the owner Brandon Purser. Dreaming about running a bar of his own since he was 13, Purser decided to purchase a popular dive bar in 2013. Financed by his mother, Winona George, she was confident that it would be a steady means of income. While things were briefly good when Purser first took over the bar, due to his lack of experience, the bar has only been declining. As a result, the owner fell into a deep depression which made it very hard for him to show up to work. Currently speaking, they are $300,000 in debt and are losing close to $8,000 on a weekly basis. In desperate need of some help, Purser calls out to Taffer and the bar rescue team for some guidance. When he finally arrives, he first points out that the business's branding is bad for a bar since it gives him the impression that it's a closed tea parlor. Calling in hockey players Ryan Reeves and Nate Schmidt, they go undercover to test out the bar's service. Ordering 2 cocktails, their Taco Berry Lime was way too sweet and their Kiss Me cocktail doesn't even have any whipped cream. Next, they order some chicken wings that are prepared in a fryer by a staff member named Trina who doesn't even wear any gloves, which is a health code violation. But that aside, they end up eating the wings without knowing this and find that they're way too greasy. Fed up with what they're seeing, Taffer stomps into the bar and meets with Purser, who had just been hiding in his office the entire time. After a discussion with the staff, they seem to be unaware that the bar was only 4 days away from closing. Returning the following day, the staff reveal that the biggest problem is Purser since they don't know what he's doing behind the scenes. They also highlight that they're frequently out of basic supplies, which leads to a lot of paying customers deciding to leave and frustration. The whole interaction made Purser so emotional that he had to leave to go cry in private, and the staff began to cry as well since they know how much he has on his plate. Following a poor stress test, Taffer learns that the communication amongst the staff isn't that great and that the bar is way too small. Later on, Taffer meets with expert mixologist Phil Wills to devise a plan that would help draw in customers to the bar. Next, they decide it would be best to train the staff on how to make more cocktails, creating a brand new cocktail program with novelty glassware. Finally feeling ready, Taffer and his team move on to remodeling the bar, but also try to fix the plumbing issues. Revealing the new business to Purser, Linda Lou's Time for Two was renamed to Purser's Bar, which is much simpler. Following a speakeasy concept, a sign was added to the exterior that said The Laundromat, but then revealed its real name. On the interior, the front actually has a laundromat with a secret door that leads right into the bar, which was made to look more modern. Fast forward to after Taffer and his team left, the community seems to have embraced the new speakeasy concept. Sales definitely increased for a while after the changes were made, but they still closed down anyway in December of 2019. Well, that'll be all for today's video here on the channel. I do hope you enjoyed, and if you did, be sure to drop a massive like down below and comment your thoughts. Subscribe for more content like this and turn on those sweet bell notifications for instant access to our content. Have a good one, guys.